Welcome. Today, we're diving into Bloom's Taxonomy, a foundational framework in education that helps us understand how people learn and process information. Developed in 1956 by Benjamin Bloom and his colleagues, this taxonomy categorizes learning objectives into different levels, making it easier for teachers and learners to structure their approach. Whether you're a student, educator, or lifelong learner, understanding Bloom's taxonomy can transform the way you think about learning. Let's start by exploring what this taxonomy is and why it matters in classrooms and beyond. Bloom's taxonomy was first introduced in the mid-20th century as a way to standardize educational goals. Benjamin Bloom, an educational psychologist, led a team of experts who wanted to create a common language for teachers to describe learning outcomes. Their work resulted in a hierarchy of cognitive skills, which has since become a staple in curriculum, design, and assessment. Understanding its history helps us appreciate why it's so widely used and how it has evolved over time. The main purpose of Bloom's taxonomy is to provide educators with a structured way to classify learning objectives. By breaking down cognitive skills into levels, teachers can design lessons that encourage deeper thinking and understanding. This taxonomy also helps in creating assessments that measure not just memorization, but also critical thinking and problem solving. Ultimately, it aims to foster meaningful learning experiences for students. Bloom's taxonomy originally consisted of 6 levels arranged in a hierarchy. These levels represent increasing complexity in cognitive skills, starting from basic recall of facts to higher-order thinking like evaluation and creation. The hierarchy is often visualized as a pyramid, with each level building upon the previous one. This structure helps educators plan lessons that progress from simple to complex tasks. The first level, knowledge, focuses on recalling facts, terms, and basic concepts. At this stage, learners are expected to remember information without necessarily understanding it. Examples include memorizing dates, definitions, or formulas. This foundational level is crucial because it provides the building blocks for more complex learning. Comprehension is the second level in Bloom's taxonomy. Here, learners move beyond memorization to understanding the meaning of information. They can explain concepts in their own words, interpret data, and summarize ideas. This stage is essential for making sense of facts and connecting them to broader concepts. At the application level, learners use their knowledge and understanding to solve problems or carry out tasks in new situations. This could involve applying formulas to real-world scenarios, using theories to explain phenomena, or implementing procedures. Application bridges the gap between theory and practice. Analysis is the fourth level, where learners break down information into parts and examine relationships. They might compare and contrast concepts, identify patterns, or dissect arguments. This stage encourages critical thinking and helps learners understand how different elements interact. Synthesis involves combining different pieces of information to create something new. Learners might develop a new theory, write an original essay, or design a project. This level fosters creativity and innovation as students integrate knowledge from various sources. The final level in the original taxonomy is evaluation. Here, learners make judgments about the value of information or ideas. They assess arguments, critique solutions, and justify decisions. Evaluation requires higher-order thinking and is key for developing independent, reflective learners. In 2001, Bloom's taxonomy was revised to better reflect modern educational practices. The updated version reorganized the levels and changed some terminology. For example, synthesis became creating, and evaluation moved to a lower position. The revised taxonomy is widely used today and emphasizes active learning. The revised Bloom's taxonomy includes 6 levels: remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. These levels are arranged from lower order to higher order thinking. The new taxonomy encourages learners to move beyond memorization and engage in deeper, more meaningful learning activities. Remembering is the first level in the revised taxonomy. It involves recalling facts, definitions, and basic information. This stage is similar to the original knowledge level and forms the foundation for all other cognitive skills. Examples include listing, identifying, and retrieving information. Understanding is the second level and involves grasping the meaning of information. Learners interpret, summarize, and explain concepts. This stage is crucial for connecting facts to broader ideas and making sense of what has been learned. Applying is the third level, where learners use their knowledge in new situations. They might solve problems, carry out procedures, or use information in practical contexts. This stage bridges the gap between theory and practice, making learning relevant and useful. Analyzing is the fourth level. Learners break information into parts, examine relationships, and identify patterns. This stage encourages critical thinking and helps students understand how different elements interact within a concept or process. Evaluating is the fifth level. Learners make judgments based on criteria and standards. They critique ideas, assess solutions, and justify decisions. This stage is essential for developing independent thinkers who can weigh evidence and make informed choices. Creating is the highest level in the revised taxonomy. Learners generate new ideas, products, or solutions by integrating knowledge from various sources. This stage encourages innovation and original thinking, allowing students to express their creativity. Bloom's taxonomy is used in classrooms around the world to design lessons, assessments, and activities. Teachers use it to ensure that students are not just memorizing facts, but also understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. This approach leads to richer learning experiences and prepares students for real-world challenges. Educators often use Bloom's taxonomy to plan lessons that progress from simple recall to complex creation. By targeting different levels, teachers can challenge students and support their growth. This structured approach ensures that learning objectives are clear and achievable. Bloom's taxonomy helps teachers design assessments that measure a range of cognitive skills. Instead of focusing only on memorization, assessments can include tasks that require understanding, application, analysis, evaluation, and creation. This leads to more comprehensive and meaningful evaluations. Teachers use Bloom's taxonomy to craft questions at different levels. For example, what is the capital of France? Targets remembering. Explain why Paris is important in French history targets understanding. Apply your knowledge to plan a trip to Paris's targets application. This variety encourages deeper engagement. Bloom's taxonomy benefits students by promoting higher-order thinking and problem-solving skills. It encourages learners to move beyond rote memorization and develop abilities that are valuable in academic, professional, and personal contexts. Students become more independent and reflective thinkers. For teachers, Bloom's taxonomy provides a clear framework for designing lessons and assessments. It helps educators ensure that their teaching addresses a range of cognitive skills and supports student growth. Teachers can use the taxonomy to reflect on their practice and improve their instructional strategies. Bloom's taxonomy is widely used in colleges and universities to design courses and evaluate student performance. Professors use it to create assignments that challenge students at different levels, from basic recall to advanced analysis and creation. This approach prepares students for complex academic and professional tasks. Businesses use Bloom's taxonomy to design training programs that develop employees' skills. By targeting different cognitive levels, trainers can ensure that staff not only remember procedures, but also understand, apply, analyze, and create solutions. This leads to more effective and adaptable employees. Online courses often use Bloom's taxonomy to structure content and activities. Instructors design modules that progress from simple recall to complex creation, ensuring that learners engage with material at multiple levels. This approach makes online learning more interactive and effective. Bloom's taxonomy is often visualized as a pyramid or staircase, with each level representing a step toward higher-order thinking. This visual helps educators and learners understand the progression from basic recall to advanced creation. It's a useful tool for planning and reflection. Some people think Bloom's taxonomy is only about memorization, but it actually covers a wide range of cognitive skills. Others believe it's rigid, but teachers can adapt it to fit different subjects and learning styles. Understanding these misconceptions helps us use the taxonomy more effectively. While Bloom's taxonomy is widely used, it has faced criticism. Some educators argue that the hierarchy oversimplifies learning and doesn't account for the complexity of cognitive processes. Others suggest that learning is not always linear. Despite these criticisms, the taxonomy remains a valuable tool. Educators often adapt Bloom's taxonomy to suit their specific needs. They might combine levels, use different terminology, or apply it to unique subjects. This flexibility allows teachers to create learning experiences that are relevant and engaging for their students. Technology has changed the way Bloom's taxonomy is used. Digital tools allow teachers to create interactive lessons that target multiple cognitive levels. Students can use apps, games, and online platforms to engage with material in new ways, making learning more dynamic. Bloom's taxonomy supports the development of 21st century skills like critical thinking, creativity, and collaboration. By targeting higher-order cognitive levels, educators can prepare students for the demands of modern workplaces and society. Bloom's taxonomy isn't just for schools. It's useful for lifelong learning. Adults can use it to set learning goals, reflect on their progress, and develop new skills. The taxonomy encourages continuous growth and adaptability. Parents can use Bloom's taxonomy to support their children's learning at home. By asking questions at different levels, parents encourage deeper thinking and help their kids develop important skills. This approach makes homework and study sessions more effective. Learners can use Bloom's taxonomy to assess their own progress. By reflecting on which levels they've mastered, students can set goals for improvement and track their growth. This self-assessment fosters independence and motivation. Special education teachers use Bloom's taxonomy to tailor instruction for students with diverse needs. By targeting appropriate cognitive levels, they can support each student's growth and ensure that learning objectives are accessible and achievable. Language teachers use Bloom's taxonomy to design activities that build vocabulary, comprehension, and communication skills. By progressing through the levels, students become more proficient and confident in their language abilities. STEM educators use Bloom's taxonomy to design experiments, projects, and assessments that challenge students at multiple cognitive levels. This approach encourages problem-solving, creativity, and analytical thinking, which are essential in science, technology, engineering, and math. Arts teachers use Bloom's taxonomy to foster creativity and critical thinking. Students progress from understanding artistic concepts to creating original works. This structured approach helps learners express themselves and develop their artistic skills. Social studies teachers use Bloom's taxonomy to help students analyze historical events, evaluate sources, and create projects. This approach encourages critical thinking and helps learners understand complex social issues. Physical education teachers use Bloom's taxonomy to design activities that build skills, understanding, and teamwork. Students progress from learning basic movements to analyzing strategies and creating new routines. This approach supports holistic development. Early childhood educators use Bloom's taxonomy to support young learners' growth. Activities are designed to build foundational skills and encourage curiosity. By targeting different cognitive levels, teachers help children develop a love for learning. Educational researchers use Bloom's taxonomy to study learning processes and outcomes. The taxonomy provides a common language for describing cognitive skills and helps researchers design studies that measure the effectiveness of teaching strategies. To wrap up, Bloom's taxonomy is a powerful tool for understanding and improving learning. It helps educators, students, and parents structure their approach, set goals, and measure progress. By targeting different cognitive levels, we can foster deeper thinking, creativity, and lifelong learning. Whether in the classroom or beyond, Bloom's taxonomy remains a cornerstone of effective education.